Welcome to the channel. Please like and subscribe and select the notification. As everybody know, that situation in our country is not that great. Been a lot of theft, and when I mean a lot of theft, a lot of shoplifting, from clothing to food. It just times are tough, and inflation is starting to take its toll when people taking things and also, for the clothing part, it's taking its toll on the inflation on that part, and people had to pay for someone else's theft, and which is kind of sick. But the worst part is the food theft because, believe it or not, the food inflation is happening. Nobody want to talk about it. What the cause of it? Many people generally under many people are generally understand that what the cause of it, and because of the weather of everything. But this is particularly affected on every supermarket. I'm going to talk about Giant. I go to Giant all the time, because in the area I live in, the Washington, like the DC, Virginia, and Maryland area, um, everybody go to Giant. Is one of the most popular supermarkets. Next one is Safeway. Then there's Aldi's. The premium one is Wegmans. That's the one with the higher quality, and you got Aldi's and letting other supermarkets that be more reasonable and more budget friendly for other people. Well, let's talk about Giant. Giant has been hit with theft not only in the DC area but in Maryland and Virginia. Um, it just rapidly, but the one in DC was got hit the most, especially the one in Ward 8 in on Alabama Avenue. It is the only, as far as I know, is the only supermarket there, and it's just sad that people had to steal things to survive. But at the same time, they're hurting the that business. There's other options that you can take. You go to the food bank, or go to charity that offers food, because sometimes Giant does give people, say, hey, you want to donate food, you want to donate something. They're always courtesy of that. In my area, and I'm gonna say this, in Montgomery County, this has been there was one neighborhood has been shut down due to, let's just say, it was a Section 8, and the city and the county decided to end it. Even though even though the county I live in, Montgomery County, is a liberal county, there's a certain extent that liberalism takes its toll. There's a limit, and when the city sees a problem, they do everything they did. They've done it before. They do it again. They give people multiple chances. When they give them multiple chances, try to straighten things out, and nothing happened, they take the initiative and shut the community down, and they destroyed it. They demolish it. They level it, and they send it to developers, and here they go. But let's talk about Giant on Alabama Avenue in Ward 8. How at the point that Giant was at the breaking point of shutting down that store, and affected a lot of people in the Ward 8 north of on the northern part of Anacostia River. So let's play this clip.
Tonight concerns that crime in the region could lead to the shutdown of a local supermarket in an area already considered to be a food desert.
A lot of people talking about this one tonight. Stephanie Ramirez is on the story. She's live in Southeast DC with the details. Hey, Steph.
Jacqueline, officials for years have been warning about the food desert issues in Southeast DC, and they affirmed this today, saying that this supermarket here, Giant on Alabama Avenue, is the only full-service supermarket in Ward 8 that is east of the river. This impacts the community's health, and you're talking about fresh produce, goods, and also pharmacy, medicine, because there is a pharmacy here. It also impacts jobs, but this is the camera sitting in the parking lot here. There is an issue with crime in this area. And I want you to listen to what one shopper said to me. Here's her feelings when we asked her what would happen and what it would be like if this store were to close. You're attacking the black community if you're just going to take Alabama out of all the areas in D.C.
Well, I mean, there's some people going to complain that what Giant's going to do and what their decision is because they did make a decision on this. Um, uh, there's a lot of people say, "Oh, they're going to hurt poor people. They're hurting this." Well, it's other people hurting other people because everybody rely on that store. And I'm going to tell you like it is. Like in Ward 8, there's some, believe it or not, this has been some Section 8 has been shut down, has been torn down. And more or on the, there's more on the chopping block of it because, like, there's some people need to understand because some of them just don't understand or they don't care or think they 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 think their mentality entitled to something. But when the community is not addressing the issue, with there's certain individuals that are damaging the community, as a result, the community suffers. And then I have seen a lot of Section 8 has been demolished. And believe me, I have seen a lot of Section 8 in this area has been demolished because of gentrification, because the city's losing money. They can't afford have police all over the place chasing them down, and what they do, they gather evidence, they track down where the source is, they keep, they try to fix things out, and at a certain point, is nothing get resolved. The ultimate solution is to shut down the neighborhood and scatter the people, because some of these people had to relocate elsewhere or relocate to an area that is so seclusive they can't do nothing. And it's just the way it is. But what happened to this particular giant, it was devastating because, believe it or not, this is not the only giant that got hit. Every giant got hit with theft, but this is the one that got hit the most.
Now, apparently there have been rumors that the Southeast store could close, so Ward 8 Councilmember Tran White held a news conference today calling on the community to make sure that does not happen. She said he did recently meet with Giant's regional leadership. His chief of staff told Fox 5 that of all the company's stores in the region, the Alabama Ave Southeast store was one of the top two stores hit hardest by crime. We're told it saw over $500,000 in products lost, and that the company can't continue to sustain 20% of their sales lost through theft. Today, Councilmember White also had booths set up at his press.
Yeah, $500,000 lost. And the profit margin for Giant is 20%. That's small. That's thin. And believe it or not, Giant and Safeway are really serious union companies. They're really serious union-based organization, and it's just a crying shame that this has had to happen. It should never happen. People, but times are tough. Yes, people are struggling. The cost of living is high. Everything's high. Gas is high. Everything's high because of inflation. And there's a lot of stuff I like to talk about, but let's continue on. But this is just, it's what it is.
Release in the event before that, Tran White saying that this is so people can get the help they need instead of stealing.
But taking from this store is really taking from yourself. We are home to a lot of senior citizens and elders who have to eat at this store. And the more we take from this store, we put the store in jeopardy of closing down.
A Giant Food spokesperson told Fox 5 in part of a statement today, "We do not have any current plans to close our Giant Food store on Alabama Avenue. However, we need to be able to run our stores safely and profitably. The reality is that theft and violence at this store is significant, and and getting worse, not better. As a result, it is becoming increasingly more difficult to operate under these conditions. We also want to know, about 2 months ago, we spoke with the head of Giant, who did warn that they are spending tens of millions of dollars when it comes to both what they are losing in theft, but also the money that they're paying to increase security at their different stores. The head of Giant saying then that they really need to work with the community on this because they do not want to close their stores. The mayor's office got back to us today saying that the mayor is working very diligently on public safety, but also making sure that everyone in the district has access to safe and healthy food. We are told that she is supposed to meet with Giant's representatives sometime next week.
I mean, this has gotten the attention to the mayor of DC, and everybody will criticize, oh, black mayors ain't doing something. There's some mayors that are actually doing something, and they recognize the problem because Washington District of Columbia is a federal district, and they don't got the same laws, same infrastructure as states. Because they got a governor, state Congress, House of Representatives, House of Delegates, and state senators. No, they have a mayor and a city council. That's it. And most of the functions, including the court systems, are run by the federal government. And there's some functions that are run by the city, but some are run by the federal government. So the mayor is taking this stuff seriously because she knows that tourism is the biggest thing for the city. I mean, tourism is the biggest thing because with tourism, it adds extra dollars to the city. Believe it or not, it does, because the city knows it. That's why they're doing everything they can to make it happen. They do not want to have crime in the national parks, the national monument, the Smithsonian museums, all that stuff. They do not want that to happen, because if they do, the police is always there present to make sure it doesn't happen, because they're on it like left and right. It's just that now that the mayor had to address the other part of the city, because it's not an easy thing, because everybody say like, well, lack some laws because there are too many brown people or so in jail. When people do stuff, it's their choice. I mean, it's their choice. I mean, you don't have to do it. I mean, there's other opportunity to learn new skills, everything. And believe it or not, if you go to your state or your city to find out a job or free training, they already have stuff available. And believe me, I was in a situation, and believe it or not, they're there. They are there. And you just had to sign up. If you have trouble with your job, or you're not working, you need a new skill, or you're looking for another job, yeah, you do all that stuff. But let's hear the result of this. I mean, this was a result that Giant made, that it was a mitigation decision for Giant to keep that store open, and it was a decision that they have to make. This is a decision that Giant made. I mean, this is the actual decision. It's sad, but it's difficult, but it's understandable. To keep that store open, Giant has made a decision, a mitigated decision.
In Ward 8 announces it will no longer stock certain name brand items due to unprecedented levels of theft. Now, the store already has a number of security measures in place, including police on the property. Now, WSA 9 has learned that the company will go even further. WSA 9's Katie Kairos went to that store on Alabama Avenue in Southeast DC to speak with shoppers about the changes.
It saddens me a lot that this is our neighborhood grocery store, and it's been here for quite some time, and the series of thefts in the store is disappointing.
Bare shelves at the Giant store on Alabama Avenue in Southeast DC as Giant announced it was removing name brand beauty and health items like Advil from the store due to, quote, unprecedented levels of theft. It's the only grocery store in Ward 8 east of the Anacostia River, and the news has shoppers worried about the future of the store.
This is just like, it will be just like shopping at, at a discount store.
If it gets too bad with Giant and they take it away, what do we have?
In a statement, Giant...
This is the result of the community that, that's being faithful to the store and always go there. And as a result, the other people that steal stuff, that steal items from that store, came out to that decision, and it kind of hurt. It kind of hurt that some people can't get their favorite products or favorite medicines. They got to get these store brands option, which is, many people don't think is that great, but some people say, hey, it's fine. It's just that Giant has become more of a discount store because of the products. They can't, because of the decision they made to prevent or mitigate or lessen theft, and now they got to do the extra step. And Giant is, remember, Giant is not the only one that's being hit. Every other supermarket is being hit. Everywhere is being hit. And I got to explain all the decisions later. But let's continue on to this clip.
Giant said the store would replace the removed items with private label brands, quote, where possible. Giant also announced that as of September 7th, all customers will need to show their receipt to Asset Protection Associates to exit the store. A police officer is already posted outside the store. Shoppers here tell me that recent security additions do make them feel safer. That includes the cameras throughout the parking lot and a loudspeaker that announces every few moments that the parking lot is under surveillance.
If you take this store away, then, a lot of people doesn't have transportation, so it is convenient for them.
Local politicians, including Councilman Trayon White, have pledged to work to...
I'm going to play this the rest of the clip. You kind of pretty understand what's going on. This is a result of, inflation, especially with food inflation because of, let's just say the weather or food supplies kind of shortened, or there's not enough supplies, or everything got more expensive because of certain events or everything. And now we're paying the price of it. And also we had to pay the price of people stealing items because Giant has to recover that money and the best way they can. And also, plus they had to spend more money on security. It just tough. I mean, because you're young. For a young person, it's easy for you. If you go to a store, it's best for you to do it is just don't bring your backpack. Just bring yourself, get your item. If you have the money, purchase it and keep on going. Because when someone come in with their backpack and all that stuff, they're going to have security camera and they're going to be watching you and you take stuff. And also, it depends on some state because everybody say like this, misdemeanor and all that stuff. But it's just sad. But this is not the only Giant that got hit. It is everywhere in the metropolitan area. Every Giant has been hit with theft. But the one in Alabama got hit the hardest. And it's sad.